So Functional HIT Primal Fit. So my way of treating and thinking about biomechanics is through functional movements, right? We push, we pull, we squat, we reach, all of those things. We don't do linear movements. So as a physical therapist, I typically do not train or rehab someone in a linear fashion. So it's all about functional movements. Functional movements is life. We're going to start out with what I call a neuromuscular warm-up. And for those of you that skip warm-ups, bad idea, especially as we get older. We need to warm up because we need to prime our muscles and our tendons, our ligaments. We also need to give our brain a little stimulus so that it understands exactly what we're doing. The main set is comprised of a plyometrics, which because I'm outside right now, I'm using a jump rope. And plyometrics is really important. Again, as we get older, it increases bone density and it increases flexibility and mobility of our joints. If you cannot jump rope, jump in place. Do jumping jacks. Put your music on, make it blast, have a party in your living room. I don't care what you do, you just gotta keep moving, you gotta get that heart rate up. That's that high intensity space. Okay, then we're moving on to 1 minute of strength training. Strength training is gonna be inclusive of using different bands, different weights. The third component then is going to be a primal movement. So these are animal-based movements. Many of them are body weight movements. So we're going to be kind of crawling and rolling and flipping around on the floor. Again, go at your pace. I don't want you to get injured. Remember, I created this workout so that you could work out with me. So I'm going to try my best to modify things for you, but I'm going all in. I'm hoping you go all in because that's why I created this. All right, last thing we always end with is a balance and coordination drill because as we know from the prior few weeks, those of you that don't follow me on TikTok, every day I drop a new wellness tip, a new functional fitness tip. So a few weeks ago, I dropped something on balance and coordination. And unfortunately, our balance skills erode over time. So again, as we get older, we become less balanced. Hence why you find your 70, 80-year-old falling, breaking a hip, and having severe complications. So if you're in your 30s, 40s, 50s, now is the time to really focus on that balance because we rarely do unless you're in a yoga class. Okay, let's get started. So we're going to do our neuromuscular warm-up. We start with the head and the neck. So we're going to talk about elongation of the neck. So for most of you, you're in this position, right, on a computer or a text neck. What we're going to work on is this position of a chin tuck. All right, so this head needs to come backwards and settle on our neck. Think about yourself as being a marionette. If someone has a string here, you want to pull that marionette up, right? You want to pull that head up on that chest. So the whole idea is lifting through here. It's going to open up the rib cage, make space in the diaphragm so that you can actually get a good breath in. Grabbing this is my DIY pipe. It's just a broom handle. Grabbing this, placing it along your back. Where do you naturally have your head? If it's sitting here, you're going to use this as a tool to help bring you back into alignment. Can you stay here? Can you slide your head upward? Can you bring that kind of marionette position upward? You might feel a little strain in the back of the neck, but if those of you have rounded shoulders and forward head, you're going to be sitting here and that's not really an elegant position. Let's just get 5 of these in. So sliding that head up. 1, 2, 3. It's like a tiny little nod. 4, tiny little nod. Yes, great. Okay, drop this down. We're going to work on side to side. So just, again, this is an upper cervical position. So we're not dropping our shoulder or our head down. We're just sliding our chin side to side. So you might feel a little stretch at the very top of the neck. All right, now from here, we're just doing a rotation. See how far you can go left to right? You'll notice again, just like in the last few weeks, one side might be a little bit easier than the other. If you get stuck, if you feel that you can't rotate or move or side bend in one position, you're going to give yourself a little resistance. So I'm a little bit more limited rotation right. So if I rotate here, I'm going to take my hand, place it on the side of my head, use it as a resistance and push my head into it. Hold for a few seconds, let go. I'm going to recheck, rotate, and I'm noticing that I can go further. So this is an osteopathic technique that you could use on yourself. If you wake up in the morning and you have a little stiff neck, you can do what's called the contract relax. All right, great. So we're gonna get your stick again. We're working on scapular retraction. So you're gonna bring your arms in front. Scapular retraction is the bringing together of your shoulder blades here. So from this position, all I want you to do is slide your shoulder blades, the middle of your shoulder blades, and let them kiss. All right, we're gonna just do, it's like a push out, pull back. Nothing else moves, right? It's just purely shoulder mobility here. Okay, this is scapular retraction. Okay, let's just get 3 more of them in. 3, 2, 1. Great, we're moving down onto the ground, onto all fours. We're gonna do another thoracic mobility drill because this is gonna work the trunk in a rotation. I'm gonna go sideways for you. You're gonna come down onto all fours. You're gonna take one hand, clasp it behind your head. I'll show you from the front. Clasp it from the front. And again, you're gonna keep everything in alignment and neutral and just drop your elbow and thread it through the opening between the hand that's on the ground and your legs. All right, let's go for 3 more on one side. 2, good, 1 more. And again, thoracic rotation is really important. Most of us are stuck in that thoracic immobility. Other hand, okay, really ground through that arm, rotate through. Again, you might notice that one side is a little bit less mobile than the other, but that just means that you need to work on symmetry. Good, give me 2 more. Great, 1 more. Great, okay, so grab your ball. If you don't have a ball, you can grab a chair and just sit on it. We're gonna work on our lumbar spine. So we just went cervical, neck, thoracic, mid-back. We're working our lumbar spine. So in this position, so this is a little low for me. I gotta get a little more air in here, but we're gonna work on pelvic tucks, okay? So everything stays pretty stationary and flat. The only thing I'm doing is curling myself under and allowing my hips to come back. So it's this kind of rocking motion, forward, back, forward, back. We're using glutes. We're zipping up from the core, right? Our core stability has to be strong here. This is also really good for the pelvic floor. Articulation of the hips and the pelvis is important for walking, and it's important for pretty much anything that you need to do with your trunk. Okay, so that's front and back. We're going side to side now. I'm gonna do like a little salsa move. So side, side. I wish I could see all of you right now. Getting a little crazy here. All right, so see if you could just kind of get a little rhythmical flow here. Again, this is contracting side body, elongation of this opposite side. All right, now we're gonna get a little crazy. We're gonna do rotation. So that's gonna incorporate all the 4 positions we just did. All right, so we're working on under and around, like as if you're swinging your hips around a clock. All right, let's try the other direction. Lumbar mobility, hip mobility, the lumbopelvic hip complex. You need to work all of it in order to have really good, whether you're a runner, a cyclist, even just if you've been walking a lot, you need to lubricate these joints and get them moving. Okay, great. Take this aside. We're moving down to the knees. We're gonna do a side sit. So from here, so we're doing external rotation of one leg, internal rotation of the other. We're just gonna flip it. So from here. And then as you get a little momentum, I want you to start to sit up a little bit. So you're almost pushing your trunk forward. So as you do this, we're working mobility of the knees, working mobility of the hips, all right? And we're also stretching the hip flexor as we come up. And we're also stretching the adductor, which is the inside of the thigh. Okay, great. All right, that's it for the knees. Now we're going for the ankles, and one, we're gonna work on figure eights. Can you take one ankle and move it in a figure eight pattern? One side's gonna be dominant for you. See if you now can go backwards in that figure eight. That one's harder for me. Okay, let's switch to the other side. Whoa, this is like, I haven't had good mobility of this left ankle, so what I'm doing is I'm finding where I'm like the glitchiest. Try the other direction. And it can give you a lot of information on how you break down up the chain, right? So knee issues can be related to ankle problems. Hip issues can be related to knee problems that you're not even aware of. But I have a lot of dexterity issues with this left. We're doing 2 minutes on the jump rope, so grab your jump rope. And if you don't have a jump rope, we're going for jumping in place. You can do jumping jacks, all that good stuff, okay? So for those of you that know me, I'm a bit of a sucker for positive quotes. I'm gonna insert them a little bit. 2 minutes on the jump rope. If you falter, if you can't keep up, stop, do it again. It doesn't matter, right? This is life. Life sucks sometimes. You get back up and you do your best. All right, here we go, 2 minutes. I've got you on a timer. Here we go. So for those of you that maybe are CrossFitters, you want to throw in some double unders in there, be my guest. I'll just do straight jumping jacks. 2 minutes, you got this. I heard a saying this week, and the best view comes after the hardest climb. So I don't know about you. I mean, I like to hike, but metaphorically speaking, I've noticed that the most clarity that I have is sometimes after I've worked really hard. And it sucks working hard. Wish some things were easier, but so for those of you that don't know, I happen to be a 9/11 survivor. So it's a tough week for me. 9/11 was a very kind of bittersweet time. And bitter obviously because it was thought I was going to die. But the sweet part is that I got chosen to live. So I wake up every day and have so much gratitude for that. So through all of this shit, through all the climbing that I've done since 9/11, there's been a lot of ups, a lot of downs, but through all of it came an enormous amount of clarity. And that view is just that anything's possible. So, all right, that was 2 minutes. Good job, guys. Okay, we're going 1 minute into what I'm calling a scapular retraction with a band. So grab your loop band. You can go heavy, you can go light. I'm having little shoulder issues, so I'm gonna go a little lighter. I'm grabbing my yellow band. All right, so just like we did in the neuromuscular warm-up, we're plugging the shoulders in, plugging them back, getting the shoulder blades to kiss. You wanna pull them together really tight, and we're working on external rotation. So we're basically just plugging them in, and then we're pulling apart. So we're working the whole chain here. Okay, we're doing 5, and then we're moving up and up and up and up and up until we have full range of motion. So you're going from the horizon to the vertical. We're doing 1 minute of that. However many you want to do, you're going to get yourself in that position. And then we're going to move into our primal movement. All right, here we go, 1 minute. So we're going to plug the shoulders in, zip up the core, and start working on thinking about how can we keep the arms in one chain. Good, I'm notching it up a little bit here. So now we're starting to work on engaging the lat muscle as well as that lower trap, notching it up. Lat muscle to lower trap. If any of you are swimmers, you'll know how important the lats are. Okay, for those of you that do pull-ups, you know as well. So this up here position, for any of you do that Olympic weightlifting, you need to have full range of motion in this upper quadrant all the way up. So I don't want to see this head position jut out. Great, we got 5 more seconds. Keep those shoulder blades glued. Great, side. Okay, we're going down into our primal movement. So this is called the contralateral crawl position. So we're going down on our hands and knees and we're gonna hover. Okay, so we're hovering in this position, hands and knees. The only thing you're doing here is you're shifting your weight, so you're lifting opposite arm, opposite leg, okay? That's our position. We're going for 1 minute. Remember, all of these are for time, not for reps. Okay, opposite arm, opposite leg. Lift and lift. This is a lot of trunk and core mobility. This is like a moving plank. I don't always love static postures. I like static postures that have a little bit of movement to them because they challenge more than just one joint. They work on your whole core stability. So right now, this is working on shoulder and arm mobility, as well as your leg, your glutes, your calves, and your ability to take balance again, right? Opposite arm, opposite leg. We got 5 seconds. You got this. Yeah, good job. Okay, grab that jump rope. Do your best. That's all I'm asking. That's all I'm doing on a daily basis is my best. Here we go. 2 minutes on the jump rope. Okay. So, I heard this quote, be strong. You never know who you are inspiring. And it's kind of interesting, especially being the start of the school year. Gosh, teachers having it rough. Feels like the school boards don't entirely know how to support them. I think that being a teacher is probably one of the most noble professions, but also the students. And we as adults, I think, my opinion, we have the responsibility to these kids to inspire. And you know, it's interesting, I'm 47, I'll be 48 in a few weeks. And what's so cool about being an athlete at this age is how kind of break the barrier of when people decide that they don't associate with themselves with being an athlete. Now, you don't have to be a competitive athlete, but you could do something every day that could potentially inspire someone else to become healthy. And if we want to live a happy life, health is a hell of a lot better than wealth. 2 minutes down. Good job, guys. Okay, grab your bands. We're heading down for some core. We're doing some banded bicycles. So again, core stability here. Actually, I'm gonna go with a little heavier band. Banded bicycles. Band around the legs. So you see here, behind, underneath the bottom of my feet. So we're laying back. You're bringing one leg towards you while the other one is going away, and switch. All right, so this is working this entire lower core as well as just the stability and mobility of your hips. Okay, so here we go. I'm putting 1 minute on the clock. All right, here we go. Let's do this. If you want to make this a little harder, you can lift your upper trunk. If this is too hard for you, you can drop everything down. I just want you to make sure that you are zipping up through the lower core. If you find yourself pulling yourself out, it means that you're weak there. Drop the bands and do it without resistance. Okay, I'm holding myself up. If you want to really increase this, you can work on opposite arm, opposite leg, using your arm, reaching towards that opposite knee. So you've got resistance and movement here. Great, we got 10 seconds left. You got this. I'm on my back deck. I'm getting eaten by mosquitoes. Woo! Good, 1 second. Yes, awesome job. All right, let's go with, we're doing what's known as a beast underswitch. Beast position is very similar to child's pose, but you're upright. So an underswitch is where the leg is going to come through. So this is a lot of rotational core stability. So we're going to be in this beast. This is a loaded beast position here, okay? We're going to pick one arm up. We're going to drive the leg through, and then we're going to come back to center. Okay, drive the leg through, come back to center. We're going for 1 minute. 1 minute. Loaded beast to underswitch. Okay. One arm up, leg follows through. Leg follows through. I want you to think about twisting, using the core. You're using your oblique muscle here. You're loading your oblique by way of being on a closed chain position. Very different than doing an oblique sit-up, because this engages a lot more stability. Keep moving. If you have to drop down, drop down. Maybe you just want to slide just your leg through. Try as best you can. 4 agreements. Do the best you can with what you got. Great job. Okay. For those of you who want to make your own electrolyte lemonade, if you're sweating, you want to get some filtered water, half a lemon, a little sea salt, and a little honey, agave, some sort of sweetener, low glycemic load if you can. Well, the glycemic load doesn't mean anything now, but if you're making this when you're not working out, you might want a low glycemic load. All right, here we go. 2 minutes on the jump rope. 2 minutes. We got this. I hope you have some good tunes on in your house. I have like my Spotify playlist that I play ad nauseum. It gives me so much, I don't know, so much when I go out and run. Running is like just not my thing. I have to say I hate running, but well, it's part of triathlon, so I had to come to love it somehow. All right, to get us through this, it's not the falling that counts. It is the rising. Again, just go back to that 9/11 experience for me. I was at the lowest of low. I suffered really bad PTSD, real bad. I wouldn't leave my house for a few months. My hair started falling out in clumps. I started acupuncture school the night before. I had just gotten married 11 days prior. I fell emotionally, psychologically, just like those towers did. It's taken me a while, but the rising that occurred afterwards, I became a person I didn't even know I was capable of becoming. I'd never been so low. And I'm sure Every single one of you have been at a low. Maybe you're at a low now. But every adversity carries with it a seed of greater benefit. And honestly, we can all rise. We have to rise. Let's rise together. All right, 2 minutes up. You're gonna grab your weights. We're gonna be doing lunges, but remember what I said earlier is how I like to do contralateral things. I don't like to do linear. So we're going for a bicep curl on one side, but at the same time, we're lunging with the opposite leg, okay? And then we're going back and doing a bicep curl on the opposite side, all right? So this is how we move. This is how we walk. Opposite arm to opposite leg. All right, so there's your mobility forward. This is gonna get a little bit of brain game-ish. We're now going on a diagonal. So you're gonna step out with a diagonal and now we're going diagonal back, all right? So I told you this is a little trippy, but this is the way we need to train if we wanna have coordination the right way, all right? So then we're going diagonal forward. Remember, opposite arm, opposite leg. You're gonna find yourself scratching your head going, I don't know, one side's way weirder than the other, but this is called the brain game. And brain games are important. Okay, here we go. We got 1 minute on our strength, then moving in 1 minute on primal. We're gonna do 5, 5, 5, and 5. So come with me, here we go. Opposite arm, opposite leg, front to back, front to back. That's 2. That's 3. 4. And 5. Great, we're going diagonal now. Pick your position. And diagonal back. That's it. 2. It's weird. I want to talk you through this, but these positions are very challenging for me for some reason. So my brain's recognizing them as a bit of a threat. So I'm starting to lose my thought because my brain is so focused on doing a movement that is not common for me. All right, let's go that direction. Opposite front, diagonal back, diagonal front, diagonal back. Good job. We got 3 more. Woo. 4. And 5. Great. Okay. We're going, here's our calf situation. We're doing what's known as a closed ape to an open ape. All right. So a closed ape is where we're in a full squat position. All right. Closed means everything closed down. An open ape is where you raise up on your toes and you open your arms, okay? Closed, open. Oh my God, my legs are shaking. So this is gonna be a tough one. If you feel like you wanna take your shoes off, take them off, you'll find that you have better balance. Okay, here we go, 1 minute, I'm taking mine off. I'm a little wobbly in these. Closed. And I'm gonna rise up on my, ooh, do you see this? Good. 1. And my calves are so tight that being in a full squat position feels almost impossible. So I'm trying to articulate here through my low back, coming upright, extending through my mid back, raising up with my arms, coming up on the balls of my feet. I don't know about you. If this is too hard, keep your hands down and just start to do some heel raises here. If you notice, you might get a little bit of, woo. I went climbing once, scared the crap out of me, you know, with the harness and everything. And I stepped down and I couldn't stop my leg from shaking. Oh, that was 1 minute. Oh, thank God that was over. Okay, see, not everything is easy, even though sometimes I make it look easy. We are more than halfway through this workout. Okay. Have you noticed that the jump roping, it's gotten easier? Maybe? As we move through these primal movements and open up our joints, get our muscles to move, get our ligaments and tendons in our brain to know what's going on, coordination becomes a little easier. Okay, a minute in. So, don't expect to see a change if you don't make one. Don't expect to see a change if you don't make one. You know, feel like sometimes when we're stuck, we want to like transport ourselves out of the situation, like move or run or get away. Problem is the situation hasn't changed, just the environment. So you can change the environment, but if you don't change the issue and work through it, you're just gonna find it again. So change is that. Change is a behavior modification. It's a thought modification. About 6 years ago, I was about 25 pounds heavier, and I got on the scale January 1st, saw a number that I didn't like, and I spent 6 months working exclusively on changing. I lost that 25 pounds, and I got fitter and healthier 6 years later, but it was progression. 2 minutes. Done. Now we're doing our calf raise variation. So we're doing 5 ups, 5 lower downs. Let's not be perfect together. I actually like perfectly imperfect. Okay, so let's go. We're going up. Woo! Ew! Slowly lower down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Lift it up. Get through the ball of the foot. Good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Lift it up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I want you to put a little bend in your knee now. We're going for soleus here. So we're raising up with our knees slightly bent. You might lose your balance a little bit. Okay, slowly lower down with your knees bent. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Control. Knees bent and up. Good. Bring it down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'll go to the side. Here we go. So knees bent. Lift, 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 lift. Good. We're going 1, control. Down 2, 3, 4, 5. One more. Lift. High as you can be. Feel a burn in the calf. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good. If any of you have Achilles issues, Achilles tendonitis, this is your exercise, the lowering down. Research, scientific research in my physical therapy world. It's a really important one. So if you had Achilles tendonitis, Achilles rupture, Achilles repair, it's the down, slow down position that you want to work on. What's known as a lateral ape crawl. I'll show you from the side. We're going to be in this kind of hovering, that loaded beast position. All right. We're going to bring our arms over to the side, push through our legs, push through the legs. All right. So if you want to see me from the front, it's that loaded beast, arm, push through the legs, push through the legs. All right. We're going 1 minute here. I mean, really, how many of us are ever in these positions? But developmental, neuromuscular development in childhood, this is all about crawling. This is what develops our ability to have trunk control. All of these closed chain positions help. For those of you that are cyclists too, and you're on your front bars, that's a closed chain position. You need strength of your shoulders. Good job. 2 minutes. Grab that rope. Last one, last plyometric drill. You got this. Okay, tails from a jump rope. Growth and comfort do not exist simultaneously. Growth and comfort do not exist simultaneously, which goes back to all the other things we talked about today. In order for you to grow, you have got to get out of your comfort zone. You want to get better, you want to get fitter, you want to get faster, more powerful, smarter, more pliable, more flexible, more mobile. You want that higher position. You want more of things that make you happy. Growth, not easy. You guys are so awesome. Thank you for joining me today. You know what happened 6 weeks ago when I had this idea of inviting you all into my workouts. I did it because I was lonely and I wanted friends to help so that you could work out with me and we could do this together and push through boundaries and grow. You got this. 2 seconds. Good job. Last jump rope. Let's see, so grab your Swiss ball. Also, for those of you that don't know, I do put out the equipment needed prior to the workout, so you'll know exactly what we're going to be working with. I try to do as much DIY as I can. You know, the bands and stuff, you can always get on Amazon. If you look at the link in my profile, you can also see some of the equipment that I suggest that I am actually using. All right, so we're doing bridging here. So taking in all of the information that we used so far, we're going to think about this kind of core stability. So back is going to stay flat. You're going to zip up like you have a tight pair of jeans on. Zip up that lower abdominals. From this position, squeeze your glutes and get yourself upright. All right, so really this position is all glute control. Your core stays stable, but you push down with your legs as a counterbalance of contracting your glutes. All right, so we're gonna do 5 of these, and then after our 5th one, we're gonna take this, we're gonna pull it towards us, and then you're gonna push it away. So towards you, push it away. If you find that your butt sinks, squeeze tighter, get it up there. If you get Charlie horse or cramps in your hamstrings, just stick with this glute, okay? Or you can keep your knees bent. Again, you could just do bridging here. If you don't have a ball and you just want to do it on the ground, great. Pushing down to push up. Push down to push up. If you want to make this even harder and you find that you're holding onto the ground for balance, you want to raise your arms up. This will make it harder. Okay, great. So from here, hold it up, pull it in for 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold that core. 5. Good. Drop it down. Raise it right back up again. 1. Arms up. 2, if you can. 3, 4. Good job. 5. Okay, leave it up there. Pull it in. Good. 1, 2, 3. Oh my God, my hamstrings. 4. 5. Good. You got one more in you? Come on, change doesn't happen quick. 1, 2, 3. Squeeze the tush. 4. One more. 5. Great. Let's go. Death by hamstring. 1, 2. Keep that butt up. 3. Hold that core. 4. 5. Yeah. So we just worked glute max and hamstring. We're now using the sides, which is glute med. So for those of you that have any sort of IT band issues, you gotta work the glute med. It's the side of the hip. 3, 4, 5. Other side. 1, 2. Now, some of you, I know for myself, I feel more mobile on my right. I feel like I'm forcing my left a little bit. If I'm forcing it, I'm gonna find movement from somewhere else. That's called compensation. I want you to strengthen within the range of motion that you have. If you have limited range, you strengthen there. Then we're gonna work on mobility to gain you more range. You never, ever, ever wanna push from a power standpoint through range of motion that you don't structurally have. You will hurt yourself. Okay, almost done here. Good, 1, 2, I'm hoping you're burning, like me. 3, 4, good, 5, awesome. You're done, except shoes off. We're going for 1 minute on each side. We always finish with balance and coordination drills. So for those of you that have poor balance, you can grab a chair, okay, to use your balance, but I want you to try to let go of the chair and see how much balance you have. We just worked the sides of our glutes, it's glute med. We're working on star pose, okay? So one, you're getting rooted. Find your center of gravity. Get rooted down, raise that leg. So we're literally working that same muscle that we just did on the ground. Arms are coming up. We want to think about how we started this whole thing with our arms out and our shoulder blades contracted. That position, okay? Upright, marionette, everything's tall and long. We're here, all right? Now, only if you can, we're gonna move from star pose into this figure 4 pigeon, all right? This is a moving coordination balance drill. If you wanna stay here, great. If you wanna stay here, great. Do your thing. Find your center of gravity. Pull up, marionette, head tall, trunk tight. Shift your weight, lift the leg. Lift from this glute position, ground down through the standing leg. Arms reach up, slide your shoulder blades back. Let them kiss one another. Who doesn't like a makeout session? Oh, all right, here we go. Down into pigeon, if you can. We're getting our flexibility here through the ankle joint. Good job. Down and up, down and up. All right, you got this. We got 15 seconds here. Core stability, reaching outward to pull inward. Motion of opposites. In order to get high, you got to push down low. Good, opposite side. In order to kick out, you've got to contract. Shift, standing leg. Use this outer hip. Keep this leg outward. Arms up. Great, holding it here. All right, we're gonna collapse, come down into that pigeon. Figure 4. Up. Great job. Whoa. If you find that you get off balance, use your vision. It's called the vestibular ocular system. Find your balance point. Look at something on the wall. If you watch me, it might get confusing because I'm moving. Smile. This is good shit. Woo. Okay, 2 more, 1 more. Woo. Shake it out. Thank you so much for joining me. You know, like I said earlier, 9/11 week is a tough week, but sharing this with you gives me something to hold on to. Much love. Ciao. See you next week. Check my IG channel. We're going to do this again because at least I'm having fun. Bye, guys.